What's going on, everybody? It's Over the Ropes. I'm Tyler.
I'm Cortland.
And what is going on, man?
I'm roasting away, man. It's scalding hot up here today.
Did you get this ACs in yet?
It's in the window, but there's one piece I need. We just got like a standing AC, and there's a singular piece that I need, and I don't know where it is, and my girlfriend's still working, so it's not running, and I'm miserable.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
All right. So today we got you a big NXT review today.
Yes, sir.
But before we start NXT, I feel like my guy got something to get off his chest. So
I do.
Get it off your chest, boy.
Yeah, I know that this is days old. This would have been much better suited to be on the SmackDown show. This is like 5 days old at this point.
All right.
And as soon as we got done yesterday, I remembered it. And I think about this a lot, and I'm like, I appreciate the few people that watch this show. I know it's like our parents and our friends and our homies and whatever. But if our show ever makes it, do you ever think about like, oh man, I can't wait until the day a wrestler watches this? Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Well, I hope someday, before this old motherfucker dies, Ric Flair hears me tell him to go fuck himself because he's an asshole. And I've always thought Ric Flair was an asshole. But the tweet about JR, this man's a dick.
Do you know what it's about?
I'm not sorry.
So JR, I don't.
So JR, do you know about Jim Ross? So he's got colon cancer.
Yeah. I was gonna say, what do you mean?
Okay.
I know about JR. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yes, I do. Yeah.
And so Rick took a jab about like seeking attention. Like, of all people to talk, it's the most self-seeking post he could have made about it. Like, and now he's like walked back and like, oh, if you can't take a joke, like, fuck you, Rick.
Right.
This dude has spent his last like 8 years trying to still be relevant by just being a clown. Fuck you, Rick. Buy one, get one free. Fuck you, Rick. You're an ass. I feel better.
But
sorry, Shay. Sorry, Lisa.
He said that.
I don't know why he said it.
Gotcha. So here's the thing. Obviously, it's a little hypocritical because it's Ric Flair. But the one in defense I will give is I've listened to JR's podcast. And
I just Googled it, and I forgot about their whole SummerSlam thing 12 years ago. So it says it could be from that. Because Flair was drunk, and he went on that SummerSlam panel, and they had some words.
Right. Well, I will say JR's podcast has made me really not like him. Because, anytime, somebody like Edge pops up, oh, I signed him, and I'm the only reason he's there, right? He really tries to take credit for anybody that signed with WWE while he was in that role of, you know what I'm saying? To the point that it legitimately rubs me the wrong way. So, I'm like, he's not wrong, but it's just hypocritical coming from Ric Flair of all people. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, JR's podcast really rubbed me the wrong way. I have a much different, he takes everything so sensitive. The way he cries about the 2008 draft, just because they didn't warn him 8 days in advance he was getting drafted to SmackDown, because they wanted a real reaction.
Yep.
Cry me a fucking river, dude. It's not like you got fired. They just moved you to a different show. Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I know I'm in the minority and I'm a heartless dick for thinking that's okay, but I don't have a problem with them not telling people and then having real reactions. I know everybody's like, but they should have told the New Day that they were splitting Big E up. But why? That's a fake reaction. If you have the chance to get a real reaction.
Remember when they did? Was it the Undertaker and he fucking lost it?
Yeah, but I think that one was staged.
Do you?
Yeah. Because even JR when he's crying about it admits that some of the top guys do No. And that was the first draft. So,
Yeah.
like, why would he give a shit, really? You know what I'm saying?
And they split the Dudleys up, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That was a big one.
That was a big one. Yeah, Bubba and Devon. That's when Devon became Reverend Devon.
Deacon Batista.
That's right. And then Bubba went
Wow.
on his hardcore title run, and then ended up joining up with Spike, and then Devon came back. So, but all right, let's get into this monster. And I need to start the show.
Let's go.
I got some feelings.
Yeah, let's go.
The show starts off with your boy Bouncy. Javon Evans comes out to the ring. Laredo Kid is already in the ring. Ethan Page's music hits. Ego. And he says, tonight's summit is a farce. Ray Phoenix is stuck on a plane, so he's not even here. He says, I should be celebrating and tap dancing on the memory of Ricky Saints. Instead, I'm sharing the ring with you two. I have to defend my title on Saturday in a fatal four-way. And then there's Shawn Legacy afterwards. And I ain't agree to any of it. Ricky Saints agreed to it. I don't agree with any of this. And Laredo Kid essentially is like, oh, you got no balls, I see. And Javon Evans complains about Page costing him his match on SmackDown. Then out comes Creative Wrestler number 1.
Yeah.
Dude, his name and... Let me ask you this. What's your creative character's name? Everybody got one.
I usually do Venom.
Venom.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's an inside joke from college, but it's also... I mean, I don't do a ton of, like, superhero and comic booky stuff, but I always liked Venom.
Mine is Tyler Creed.
Tyler Creed?
Mm-hmm.
Are you Julius and Brutus's little brother?
I had that way
Little big brother?
I had that way before those fools did. So, creative character number 1 comes out. He says he hopes he doesn't face Ethan Page. He says he can become the first Evolved champion. And then Vanity Project shows up. I do not know why, but I love this team so much.
Oh man, I hate them.
They're so douchey, and you want to punch them in the face so bad that I love them. I love it because
they're so annoying.
They're so annoying. They're small. They don't even look like they should be in the ring. And
no, they look like referees.
Right, and they literally look like what they wanted Shane's posse to look like.
Me posse.
Yeah, right.
Ah, good call.
And boy, do you just want to whip their asses. And us, just normal guys, truly believe we can whip their asses.
Yep.
Which just makes me love them even more. So they come out, they say they're the hottest act in Evolve. They say Jackson Drake is going to take care of Legacy tomorrow night. And as for the rest of you bums in the ring, Ethan Page, we got your back. Then a big brawl breaks out. Ethan Page attacks Evans. They jump in the ring, attack Kid and Legacy. Big brawl breaks out. Great way to start the show. Again, I like these kids in the way of they are doing their job. Because God, do I want to whip all their asses.
They are hateable.
Piss me off just by living life. So
very touchable faces.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really love that Shawn Legacy was like, I hope you're not champion. I was like, that's not what baby faces do.
Right, but I think he went on to say like essentially how he respects all the other wrestlers. So it was more like I would prefer to wrestle them because I respect them rather than like I'm.
That's a fair point.
You know. So, but no, I get it. I get it from that perspective. I mean, you know, he only has to go off of what 2K writers wrote for him. So
that's hilarious.
I will say, what's the story mode called? My Rise.
My Rise.
My Rise is pretty good this year.
It was really quick.
But it was good. The Mutiny
way quicker than the last couple of years. But there's a lot of options. Like I think it's made to be played multiple times, and I've only done it the once.
Yeah, because picking different options helps you unlock characters.
Yep. I'll probably play it again. I thought last year's was cool because you get to marry Gigi Dolan. So after this, we get El Vikingo at ringside, and he is, as was spoiled on Raw, your AAA Mega Champion.
My dude's gonna be on the main roster so fast. So fast.
You'd have to think. I thought of something while they were showing him. Do you have any preference? So we've got Chad Gable, who is going to be on Worlds Collide and Grande Americano and Money in the Bank. Do you like it the way it is? Would you switch it? Do you have any preferences?
Yes, Gable to not be on any show. No,
All right.
I think it's fine the way it is.
Really?
Because, like, technically, Gable's the one who has the issue with the Mexican wrestlers. Like, even though Grande's been helping him, Gable's the one who actually has the issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, in Gable's story in his head, Grande's somebody he recruited to help him because he has the issue with the Mexican wrestlers. You know what I'm saying?
Touche.
So,
that's a good explanation. I was just thinking to myself, like, I hate that a gimmick, like a racial gimmick is what got Gable into a Money in the Bank, but then the gimmick is not the one fighting the Mexican wrestler at the pay-per-view. I don't know. In my brain, I kind of want them switched because I'd rather Gable's the one with the briefcase, but, I mean, either way.
So I meant to tell you this before the show started, but it's okay to piss you off after the first segment. So as I was getting out of the shower, so I jumped in the shower real quick before we started this. I saw that Brian Alvarez.
Oh, great.
Has said, according to him, that there is a wrestler who is on the last few months of his contract, and WWE has not offered him a new one yet. And I want to give you your perspective.
All right. Who is it?
Karrion Kross.
Yeah, I saw that yesterday. I didn't see it from him. But I was looking at people's contracts yesterday when we were talking about the R-Truth stuff. Do you think they're just going to let him walk at this point?
They might, but I would really hope they don't. I mean,
it would be a big mistake.
Like,
makes me worried.
It makes me worried. I'm worried about it, but like, I think that would be a pretty stupid mistake. I mean, he admitted he was like extremely close to going to AEW before he went back to WWE. So, I think he said Kevin Owens called him and talked him into coming back instead of going to AEW. So,
man, I hope they do something with him and keep him.
Yeah, me too.
I'd be so pissed if he went to AEW.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I also would be using it more than they are, so. Dang, man. That'll be interesting to keep an eye on.
I will.
If Sami Zayn kills him off. So we get our first match of the night after they show Vikingo. We got Chase U versus Dark State. This one was quick. I mean, I think everyone knew what they were going to get. Uriah Connors, they're like having a little huddle outside the ring, and then Uriah Connors runs into the ring, gets pummeled. He showed, he's a little spark plug, but this was pretty much what you would expect. Dark State, kind of tossed them around. They hit that tag team powerbomb. They get the win. They remain undefeated. I like that they have the, what are they called? The Freebird rules.
Yeah.
You never know which 3 of the 4 you're going to get. I like that.
Yeah.
It was what it was. It served its purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they look good in the ring every single time they get in there. They literally haven't had a bad performance in the ring yet.
No, they've been solid. That Osiris kid is a monster. I know I say it every week, but my God, he's huge. Wow.
Yeah.
Big man.
Yeah.
After that, we head backstage. Laredo Kid, Javon Evans, and Sean Legacy need to find a tag team partner because Ava tells them that they're going to face off against Ethan Page and the Vanity Project. I wish they would have just like let this drag out a little bit. Like I feel like back in the day when this situation arose, a superstar or a team might, when someone is like in the show multiple times throughout, like, hey, will you be my partner? Hey, will you be my partner? I feel like this has happened like twice in the last week, where someone on meet like Lola Vice just automatically inserted herself, and this
Yeah.
Dragon Lee was right there. Like, let it breathe, give it a minute, like give it a segment or two at least.
I agree.
I just feel like it looks. I don't know. I hate how it looks.
No, I agree with that.
I'm glad it was Dragon Lee. I'm glad he's in the match, but like, let it breathe, brother.
Yeah.
But your boy finally got the call. It took a missed flight.
Yeah, that's right.
But Dragon Lee is in.
He's in. At least for.
Who'd you think it was going to be before?
I mean, they didn't give you enough time to.
I know, that's what sucked.
Yeah.
I didn't even have time to type in a prediction. And then after this, another backstage segment, we get Shara Schreiber with Trick Williams. She asks how he plans on beating Mike Santana. He says, for 20 years, TNA has been looking for the one to take the title to a new level, to make TNA legitimate. His name ain't Elijah, his name isn't Average Joe, and it's not Mike Santana. It's Trick Williams, and this is Trick N.A.
Trick Willie. I forgot that match was happening.
Well, yeah, this was a solid NXT, man.
Yeah, really.
The last hour had a lot going on.
Yeah.
Lot going on.
So then we come back to the women's locker room. Tyra May Steele talks about winning LFG. Now, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
Because I feel like this was a little rigged. Is this the woman who won the gold medal the same time that what's his name did? That came in?
Oh, the guy that plays for the Bills now.
Yeah.
And his brother.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what is his name?
Who cares?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
Because they had signed a woman at the same time. Because they came out together the first time that he came out.
Take a look.
So I feel like if this is the same woman, like, how rigged is that? 'Cause we already know she's under contract.
She won the Olympics in 2020. I can see his face. He fought Baron Corbin in that match that went no contest.
Is it like Chad or something? Start to see.
I'm trying to think of his brother's name, too, to help narrow it down. I can't remember his brother's name either.
I think you're hurting yourself trying to do that, brother.
Yeah. Well, we'll think of it while you go on.
Anyways, so she's there talking about winning LFG and disappointing The Undertaker, and Ariana Grace chimes in. God, I love Ariana Grace.
She's so funny.
She's so great. She says, ladies are looking for inspiration from a winner.
Gable Stevenson!
Gable Stevenson, that's it. Yeah.
Sorry.
Did she win the same year he did?
Gable Stevenson. Wow, he's a lot younger than she is. Holy crap. Yep, they both won at the 2020 Tokyo Games.
She's already under contract. So, like, what the hell is this shit? Anyways, I thought so, but I wasn't sure. So she says, talks about how she's won numerous beauty pageants. She says Olympic medal isn't even 100% gold.
What a dick.
Awesome. And if Tyra wants to fit it better, talk about herself. Oh, she wants to fit in better. She needs to talk about herself less. Nobody likes a tacky bragger. And she walks off, and Tyra says, "It looks like I found my opponent." And I was like, poor Ariana's gonna get killed. Then we get Miles Randy Orton Jr. born.
Oh my God, every week it's just uncanny.
Versus
I mean, some of the really small things, too. Like, just literally the way he carries himself and some of his movements, I'm like, this can't be real.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And match was a good match. I mean, Dempsey doesn't always do it for me, but this was a good match. Bourne gets a pin right before round 1 ends. Dempsey ends up throwing a late knee after the bell for round 2. Hits the Regal Plex and gets a pin in round 3. And then after a series of pin attempts, Bourne ends up hitting a big drop kick to get the win. Miles Bourne is out of No Quarter Catch Crew.
He's a free man.
Free agent, baby. Which worries me a little bit for him because I don't know where he fits in.
Yeah, I mean, they gotta have a plan for him.
Right. But it was a good match. I mean, I was hoping they would do a storyline where Dempsey was like forcing him to stay in, but like this was I understand. I wasn't surprised of the outcome. So
Yeah, I wonder if there continues to be dissension with the other three now, with Tavion and Ren.
Or Dempsey gets a new group and starts going after them.
I would like that. I could get down with that for sure.
Yeah.
Miles looks great, which is funny because I think when I look at this feud from the beginning, I'm not sure that he's the one that I would have pegged as the star to break out. I think I was leaning Tavion, Dempsey just because he's got that greed. But man, Miles Bourne has really kind of come out of his shell here.
Yeah.
Match was solid. When was the last time you saw someone win a match with a drop kick, though?
A long time.
Interesting. But I like it. I think he did great.
Randy did it back in the day. Mark Jindrak used to do it.
Oh my god, Mark Jindrak. Stop the damn match. Wow.
Hell of a suit. Drop kick.
Yep. Is that the guy that was going to be in Legacy?
Evolution.
Yeah, sorry. You know what I meant.
Yeah.
Evolution is... I was singing the song in my head.
Yeah, but him and
That's
Orton
crazy.
were running around pulling too many pranks, so they had to kick one of them out of the group.
Bad mother truckers.
Yep.
So after this was not on my bingo card. Backstage, we see the culling, and they're like talking because they're supposed to have a 6-man tag match on the show. And you see Brooks Jensen get leveled with a chair. And you look quick and you're like, was that a female? And then the camera pans back and it's Izzy. And I'm like, what the hell? And so the guys are just like, what the heck? Like, we have a match tonight. And she's like, he's out. And no, you don't. I moved your match next week for you two. He was never fully bought in. And if you're not fully committed to the culling, you're out. And I was just like, shit, yeah!
They 10 times more likable.
All of a sudden, I feel like the group has a little bit of a chance. Like, I think we've both talked, and, Brooks just doesn't do much for us. But it's not so much like, yeah, to me, they dropped a little bit of weight, but, like, Izzy's got some spunk, and I feel like, I don't know, like, it just kind of gives that group that edge, like, hey, like, you're not just going to be able to coast by in this group. I don't know what the heck they're going to do with Brooks Jensen now. I don't know if he ends up back with Josh Briggs or what happens here, but I definitely think Tatum Paxley's going to end up in this group now. But I was cool with it. Best culling segment, 86 Brooks Jensen.
Hell yeah.
And then after that, we get the Tyra May Steele and Ariana Grace match. Kind of like the first match of the night. You kind of knew what you were going to get. They're not going to have Tyra May come out and lose her first match. Match was fine. She hits a bridging German suplex. She gets the win. Ariana Grace is hilarious. I want her on my television every single week.
Just like her father.
And he was
excellent.
Just like R-Truth has been on our TV for years, man. Absolute gold every time he's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love her. After this, we get Sarah Schreiber. She's interviewing Mike Santana this time. He says he should be soaking it all in, and he's going to take time to reflect once he's champ. He says he doesn't see a fighting champ in Trick Williams' eyes. He saw someone who's fighting for himself, but Santana's fighting for the legacy of TNA, for everyone who's ever been a part of that company, for his heritage, and for his family. I love Santana promos. When he took his sunglasses off, like, this dude talks from the heart. I love it. He's got great intensity. I really like his promos. I really hope he becomes the next TNA champ.
Yeah, Santana's great. Like
really
we were
good.
just talking about Grace in a different way, but like Grace is hilarious, and like she brings something different. I feel like Santana brings something different, but not in a comedic aspect. He just brings that like hood, like you know this dude's seen some shit. You knew homies like that were like, listen, you can mouth off when he's around. You can't mouth off when he's around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And yeah, I love Santana. He's great on the mic. He's great in the ring. He's overall just great. And then we get the highlight of the night, baby. Fatal Influence comes out. JC tells the fans it's too late to get on the bandwagon. She pulled the most shocking moment in NXT history in front of the most fickle group of fans. Correct? Incorrect? She says her and Fallon started in the industry together, and over the years they became like sisters. And that's why after a long, long discussion, they decided it was time to finally run the play. Slap heard around the world. Lonnie Reed, who I don't know who the hell that is.
No clue who it was.
I'm assuming Evolve, but she jumps the crowd. Jumps out of the crowd.
Yeah, because she was in the crowd and jumped out.
To interrupt JC. She says last week JC proved that anything's possible by beating Vicor, and she was going to wait her turn in the division being so stacked, but then she realized JC's the most beatable champion of all time. Facts.
Your mic's starting to cut out.
And then she said that JC is the most beatable champion of all time. Facts.
Yep.
Then Lola Vice heads to the ring. She says it's time to bring the title home to Vice City. Jordan Grace comes out. She says she's had the plan. She said she had a plan when she got to NXT, and last week she has made her realize anything can happen.
Your mic's cutting out a ton. I don't know what's going on.
Nothing I can do about it.
Sorry.
Trick is... no, it's good to know, but, like, you know what I'm saying? Trick is TNA champ. JC beats Stephanie Vicor. Out comes Jada Parker. Everybody coming out tonight. Jada comes down, says Jordan had her chance already. Kalani comes out. She says beating JC, but never had a chance for the title. Lash Legend comes out. Jesus Christ. She said...
One after another.
No shit. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear them speak. She sees a bunch of women who had their turn. Thea Hale attacks Jada Parker out of nowhere. Big ass brawl breaks out. And then the lights go down.
What were you thinking in that moment? What did you think was going to happen? Did you know who it was going to be?
Yes. Yeah, I watched it late and I saw it and I was like, well, time to watch it now. So I already knew. Were you watching live?
No, but I saw all your texts that just said NXT. So 3 guys in this group chat just say NXT, and I was not watching it, and I was like, well, I need to start now.
Yeah.
And then I kept a note of what time y'all said it, so I ran in here, and when I saw how the segment started, I had a good idea who.
Yeah, so lights come up. Mariah May. She says, I have finally arrived, ladies and gentlemen. You can call me the next NXT Women's Champion because I came to the best women's division in the world and it just got a lot more glamorous. And
hell yeah.
Damn. What did you think? What was your reaction when Mariah May showed up?
Stoked, shocked, hell yeah, brother. I love it. That was quick.
Yeah.
I mean, her contract expired this week, right? It's within this last week.
Last week, yeah.
So, they wasted no time. That's freaking awesome.
Real Ricky Saints-ish.
Yep. Got her in here immediately, and I love that. And Ethan Page, and it's funny because the next thing they show is a replay of those two, and I was like, that's not an accident.
I think it's obvious she's getting a somewhat name change. Like Ricky.
They didn't say her name at all.
Right. I will say, as I said with Ricky, as long as they keep Mariah, I don't really care about the last name. As long as it sounds good. Like Ricky Saints sounds good. So I was fine with it. You know what I'm saying?
And it makes sense.
Right. I mean, everybody was chanting Mariah. So as long as they keep Mariah, if you change May, it is what it is. I think Mariah May is a good name, but as long as they keep the Mariah part,
Yep.
I think it's fine. Somebody
What's
goes,
your actual?
Somebody goes, oh my God, Jennifer January came out.
Yeah, I saw a lot of Mariah Junes. I mean, her real name's fine, but I think I read somewhere that she's wrestled under the last name Egan, and that they might do that.
Mariah
Um,
Egan.
yeah, as long as they keep Mariah, they'll be fine.
The Mariah part's of it. I'm not gonna lie, even though we've heard for a while this was happening, I'm shocked she left AEW.
Me too.
She was one of the few people that was really treated well there.
I was super surprised. I'm still surprised. I want to know. I want to know why, but
So, if you listen to the dirt sheets, and I mean, they've been right so far when it comes to this, it just sounds like this was her plan all along. Go to AEW for a little bit, bring her stock up, get through that contract, go to WWE. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, I get it. I mean, we all grew up wrestling fans. All of us grow up thinking about being in WWE and think about going to AEW. No offense. I'm just saying, it wasn't around. Wrestling
right, yeah.
Mania is the thing you want to be at. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mania's the Mecca, baby.
That's right.
Yeah, awesome moment in the middle of this show. I feel like the show stayed on that high note from here on out.
Wild.
Like I was talking about, we get this replay immediately after, and it's Ethan Page and Ricky Bates, and I thought that was kind of funny.
Yep.
So they show some clips from their match last week. They show that twisted grin onto the upside down chair. They said Ricky has acute trauma to the larynx. So I don't know how long he's going to be out. I wonder if he's just out in the draft. I have a decent idea that maybe that's what happens. We'll see. Depends on when the draft is.
Yeah.
And then they cut to the locker room, and Ethan Page is in there with the Varsity Idiots, or whatever they're called.
How dare
Vanity Project. I kept writing Varsity. I'm an idiot.
Do not disrespect. Alright.
Ethan brags about taking Ricky's voice. He took Javon's smile, and he talks about tonight taking the masks from Laredo Kid and Dragon Lee. And the Vanity Project says they're going to make sure they take care of Shawn Legacy. So we get this 8-man match. Some decent action for sure. I'm really glad Dragon Lee was in it. I think he looked great throughout most of the match. Baylor pushed Legacy into Dragon Lee, which knocked him off the apron, and I was like, no, don't have him turn on. I was afraid he was going to turn on the good guys here for a minute. Swipe right hits their tag move on Shawn Legacy. Jackson Drake follows up with a swanton, and then Ethan Page with that awesome pull-up power slam. I was afraid this one was over, but Javon and Dragon Lee break it up, and then Dragon Lee ends up hitting that double stomp in the Operation Dragon. Good guys get the dub.
That was my favorite part. Give Dragon Lee that spotlight. The boy deserves it.
I wish he got a little more TV time.
Me too.
I really do.
Here's my thing. 1, Dragon Lee's great. 2, if you treat him well, you get the older, better brother and whoosh.
Dude, he's a psychopath, though.
Right?
Oh, my Lord.
Right?
That dude's crazy.
But yeah, it's a fun 8-man tag. Like I said, I'm liking the Vanity Project. Give me them more. They're so douchey. But the match itself was good. Dragon Lee's great. Javon Evans is great. Laredo Kid's pretty good. I liked what I saw, the little we saw. Creative character number 1 is fine. You know what I will say? You know what was a great thing about the episode?
What's that?
No Public Enemy.
What's that? Who's that?
Tag Team Public Enemy? They're Tag Team Champions?
Oh, Hank and Tank?
Yeah, Public Enemy. It means a blatant
Yeah.
ripoff,
Man. Yeah, damn. I was like, those guys are long gone. That's funny.
Hey, we see Oba in the office waiting with Robert Stone and Stevie Turner. Stevie Turner cracks me up. Do you know Robert Stone's been doing commentary on TNA too?
Yes, I actually just listened to him on a different podcast,
He's
and he had mentioned that.
managing Alicia Fox.
Really?
Yeah, they just had a mixed tag match against Santino and his daughter.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh god, these guys do look like Public Enemy. Oh Jesus Christ!
Good, now you're never
I,
gonna unsee it.
I forgot what they look like, so I looked it up, and now I'm really mad that I did. Oh yeah, these are the guys that Farouk and Bradshaw almost killed.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah. So they're talking about the title match. Jasper Troy walks in, asks how it feels to look up at his opponent. Oba says it don't make no difference. The result remains the same. Oba's a beast. Zarya and Sol Ruka talk about everything going on JC Jane, and they run into poor Tatum Paxley. Just I love that they're using this as a storyline.
Who's just sitting there with a naked doll?
I know the public outrage of like, how dare you turn somebody losing their job into a storyline? But this is great. I love it.
I mean, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like the way that they're using it. Not that it happened.
Yeah. So
But I think it's making for an intriguing story.
Oh, 100%. They asked JC why she wasn't out there. She says even in a crowded room, she'd still be alone. Soul reminds her that they're there for her. Izzy Dame approaches, saying, "Are you though? You've been down this road before, and it led you to nothing." She says, turning on these two for help will end in the same way. You've seen what I do to people who cross me, who aren't true friends. I purged them.
And she looked right at them when she said it.
She said, that's what you need. I am digging this story so much. And inject it. Out of nowhere, Izzy became entertaining.
Izzy's become very intriguing here.
Yep. Then we see... go ahead.
I was just going to say, I feel like I manifested this next part because I'm looking at the timestamp. I know we've got a title match, and I'm pausing to finish up this note, and I'm like, damn, really? Nothing from the family this week? And then, boom, last segment of the show.
That's right. We see Luca approach Tony. He understands Tony doesn't trust him, so he made a move to prove his loyalty. He made a tag match against High Rise. Tony says, so you want to do this for the family, but didn't get my consent first. Lucas says, with all due respect, we're not really a family anymore, are we? And oof, that hit Tony hard. Oof.
That's deep. So this takes us home to the main event. We got Mike Santana versus Trick Williams for the TNA Championship. Can you imagine, walking into another company and getting as good of a reaction as Mike Santana did? Santana walked in there and threw the crowd like he owned the place, and I loved that.
And the crowd reacted for it.
Big time.
Yep.
I enjoyed this match. These guys traded a crazy series of kicks at one point. And then Santana just dumps Trick on his head with a Death Valley driver. That was nasty.
Yeah.
Santana just kept bringing it. I think he did 2 moves off the top at one point. He definitely did a 450. Trick just kept kicking out at one point, literally with just his finger. His arm stretched out, just a fingertip on the rope. Santana goes for the spin the block. Trick rolls outside the ring as a good heel should. And then he grabs Elijah's guitar from him, smashes it up the steel steps. So Elijah hops. I think he hopped the guardrail, right?
Yep.
And so the ref is dealing with those two. And on the other side of the ring, I don't know who the hell Casey Navarro is. But I recognized AJ Francis because he was in Swerve's group in WWE. Yep. Top Dollar, infamous for the world's worst leap out of the ring. So Navarro pulls Santana out of the ring. AJ Francis chokeslams him onto the announce table, tosses him back in. Trick hits two times the trick shot, and still, that son of a bitch, Trick Williams retains. So, we talked about this last week. We were either going to get the quick pass the baton, or they're really going to drag this out. And so at this point, I feel like we're going to get Trick Williams as the TNA champ for a while here.
Well, today TNA announced his first title defense on TNA pay-per-view.
It's Elijah on Friday, right?
It is Elijah on Sacrifice. I didn't catch that it was Friday, but
they mentioned on NXT a couple of times that he was facing him on Friday, and so I just assumed it was for some sort of shot.
I don't know, but TNA announced today on their website that he was facing Elijah at Sacrifice, whenever that.
Nice. Okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah, maybe he's wrestling Elijah 1-on-1 on Friday, but they're gonna wrestle for the belt at the pay-per-view. I don't know, or maybe the pay-per-view is Friday. Find out. That is NXT, man. What a show between the TNA title getting defended.
Good show.
Mariah May debuting, which frankly we did not talk enough about. Like, how long do you see her in NXT? Do you think she gets the belt immediately with like Jordan Grace and all still there? Like, who do you want to see her really feud against first? Like,
or Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
I feel like if she would have debuted at any other time in NXT, she would be by far the biggest star, but she's coming with Julia, 70 Rock Hour, and now this. Poor Jordan Grace.
Yeah. Honestly,
Bad
what
draw.
I hope they do is fast track Zarya turning on Soul and then give us Jordan Grace and Zarya.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Beast mode.
I'd put the belts on Mariah right away. It doesn't even have to be a top. Frankly, maybe even have her lose the belt to Jordan Grace. You know what I'm saying? But have her really, like, I would go really hard into the Mariah character. Have her like getting guys, like flirting with guys, getting them to help her in her matches, like, you know, trying to buddy up friends and then getting them.
Could you imagine her with Ashante the Adonis?
Oh my god. Right?
I
While hanging out with like Vanity Project and shit, like.
don't know, you just said it cut out for a long time that time.
I said while hanging out with Vanity Project and shit, like.
Oh god, Jesus. Could you imagine her first match against Carmen Petrovic and Ashante the Adonis is just like love struck the whole time? Boom, just booked her first match, let's go.
Except for they're not together anymore.
Oh yeah, that's true. But maybe he comes out to try to woo her and then screws her.
Fair enough.
The woo and screw.
Fair enough. So everybody tell us how you feel about Mariah May coming to WWE, NXT. How you feel about her leaving AEW? We want to know. Tell us. That is going to be it for your NXT review. Catch us tomorrow. We're going to do Money in the Bank and Worlds Collide in one preview show. And then this weekend we'll do a SmackDown / Worlds Collide video and a Money in the Bank reaction. So give us a like, subscribe, follow, hit the notification bell, comment, tell us how you feel about Mariah May, tell us how you feel about the TNA title being on NXT, Trick being champ. Frankly, Trick having more shine than Oba as a champion of a different company.
Yeah.
And everybody enjoy your wrestling. We'll see you guys tomorrow with our reaction or prediction videos. Peace.